We're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw in a second, but I've got some bad news. You can probably tell that I'm not in the best mood, and that is because yesterday I've got drafted to the Lithuanian military, which basically means there's a big chance that by the end of 2020 or something like that, I will have to go to the military, which basically means that it's possibly the end of my YouTube career because 9 months is a lot of time. And there's no promises that I will still have an audience. I have so many responsibilities. It sucks, having no choice. And while that doesn't necessarily mean that I will have to go, because I'm like at the bottom of the list of people who will have to go, I contacted a lawyer and I'll try to prove damages and all that kind of stuff. It sucks. Like, I'm going to be living in a constant stress for a year. And even if I will not have to go this year, next year I might get drafted again, and basically all of that cycle is going to continue up until I'm 24 years old. I'm not even 21 yet. It sucks. I know some of you don't care, but having no choice is really bad. And I have a family to take care of. So it's really tough, man. It's really bad. And like I've said, it doesn't necessarily mean that I will have to go, but there are going to be a lot of problems. One more important thing is that if you ignore all of this, there is a slight chance that you might end up in jail for 3 years. Awesome stuff right here. Anyway, people, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. I'll try to be as entertaining as I can be, but I'm not in the best mood, so hopefully you guys understand.
That's what's up!
Welcome back to another episode of Greatness of Raw. I gotta admit, it was not the best episode, but we did get a couple of cool things, for especially that Kevin Owens spot. That was something. That Monday Night Raw stage already paid off. R-Truth was very funny, and of course Buddy Murphy joining Seth Rollins is possibly very good for his career. The only thing I'm really confused about is the fist fight. I thought that it's going to be a fight where you can only do striking moves, but it seems like it was a KO match or something like that. But let's start from the beginning of the show, people, because this show kicked off with a very good triple threat match. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. Oh boy, did I like this match. Of course, Randy Orton is in a rivalry with AJ Styles, but I'm not that interested in it, if I'm being honest. For some reason, it just doesn't click with me. What I'm interested in is my man Drew McIntyre right now, because I love his babyface gimmick. It's one of these gimmicks where you can't tell if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He's just Drew McIntyre. I really like that. He's also very funny. So it was predictable though, because once you saw that Drew McIntyre got knocked out and Randy Orton fought with AJ Styles for like good 5 or 4 minutes, you already knew that it's basically going to be where two people are fighting, the third one wins. And that's basically what happened. Drew McIntyre won the match. Dude, I've heard that Cain Velasquez actually joined Royal Rumble, so there's a possibility that we are getting Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar in some capacity, maybe a WrestleMania match, but oh boy, none of us want to see that. What I want to see is Drew McIntyre in that spot. If there's anyone who should beat Brock Lesnar right now in 2020, it's definitely Drew McIntyre. I don't see any other logical option. Like, think about the Monday Night Raw roster. Is there anyone who should beat Brock Lesnar? No. And maybe that's the reason why WWE decided to turn Drew McIntyre into a babyface, kinda. I really hope so. We got Ricochet versus Mojo Rowley, a very important match. Oh boy, am I thankful for Mojo Rowley being used right now. I love his attire. Looks very nice. Now, Ricochet wins the match, but does it say anything, at all? Beating Mojo Rowley is basically the same as no showing up on Monday Night Raw. It's basically the same. We got Charlotte Flair versus Sarah Logan. I don't understand this, if I'm being honest. Of course, Charlotte Flair won, but I don't get the point. It's basically, we have nothing to do for Charlotte Flair, so we're just gonna put her in this random rivalry, if you can even say that, with Sarah Logan. And Sarah is going to be buried every single week. She's going to look like a complete loser. That's exactly what we're getting. I don't get what's happening right here, but Sarah Logan is desperate and she loses in the biggest jobber way possible. We got a backstage segment with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. They're a bit stressed out because they don't know how can they win the match. But they got a reminder. That's a big ass fist. We got a pretty cool Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman promo. I actually liked it because Paul Heyman really interacted with the crowd. When they booed, the man left. It was actually pretty cool. I like that. And of course they came back, and they of course talked about the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar being number 1, and in kayfabe it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why would Brock Lesnar want to do that? Anyway, he's a tough guy, he's a real farmer, so it makes sense. Of course, Paul Heyman is giving out spoilers. R-Truth interrupts, and he says that he's going to be, I think he said that he's going to be number 2, and he's inspired by his childhood hero, John Cena. He enters the Royal Rumble and he basically said that I'm going to beat you, Paul Heyman. He thought that Paul Heyman is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Then Paul Heyman basically said that, you idiot, Brock Lesnar is in the Royal Rumble, and R-Truth said that he's not going to be in the Royal Rumble anymore. Watch that segment. Find it on YouTube if you haven't seen Monday Night Raw. It's very funny. I like that. R-Truth is very good, and I would love to see a segment between R-Truth and Orange Cassidy. I believe that would be very, very entertaining. R-Truth did this whole what's up thing. We got an F5 and Brock Lesnar said, that's what's up. I love when Brock Lesnar talks. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but whenever Brock Lesnar is talking, I feel like the rivalry becomes way more important because it's not the advocate who cares, it's the fighter who cares. So sometimes I miss it. Of course, that was just a comedy, shtick, whatever. But I liked it. Brock Lesnar needs to talk more. And Mojo Rowley won the 24/7 title. Amazing. Good? Was that good? Does that matter? We got Rusev versus Bobby Lashley. Again, I believe this rivalry is not interesting anymore. I'm over it. I'm honestly over it. Ilana interrupted a lot. And we got Liv. We got Coke on Liv. Coke as in Coca-Cola. Not... And of course, Bobby Lashley wins the match. If you care. I don't know if you care, but if you do, well, Bobby wins the match. And then Lana basically said that she wants a mixed tag team match next week. Bobby's not happy, but it's happening. We need a twist to make it just a little bit more entertaining. It's already bad, cringy, makes no sense, but if you're going all in, go all in. Lana kisses Liv. Or Bobby with Rusev. We got the Viking Raiders versus the Singh brothers. Yeah, that's something to care about. And we got a decent Asuka and Becky Lynch contract signing. So they both signed the contracts, and of course, it's a contract signing, so something is going to happen. We got this green mist, and Becky actually cut a pretty decent promo. People are saying that it was the best promo of her career. I don't know about that. I really didn't care, but it was decent. It wasn't bad at all. I just don't really get this rivalry. I don't know what it is. Both are very good. I'm a big fan. It's just something about this rivalry that doesn't work for me. Maybe because it's very predictable, and we all know that the only reason Becky is facing Asuka because she needs to win the match. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Do you care? To me, so far, this is the least interesting match, even though I know it's going to be pretty okay. We got Alistair Black versus Buddy Murphy. That was a great match. Like, this got so many "this is awesome" chants. Last time they faced on Monday Night Raw, it was pretty boring. This time it was amazing. Maybe even better than their pay-per-view match. I'm not quite sure, but this was very, very good. I also like the ending. Basically, Buddy gave everything he had, but still couldn't beat Alistair Black. So that was good. But he won the 4th match over Buddy Murphy. So that's not the best thing, but basically that triggered Buddy, and he was basically sitting against the barrier for the whole show. Now, this rivalry is possibly over because of what happened later during the show, but man, it was good. It was actually good. Like, the matches were good. I didn't like the story that much, but Alistair looks strong. Buddy is legit because of what happened later, so at the end of the day, most of it was positive. Eric Rowan defeated a jobber, and we got the fist fight. Big Show, Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe versus Rollins and the Authors of Pain. I didn't really care that much, man. I really did not care. Of course, the highlight of the match was the Kevin Owens spot. Like, how? Man, I love this. But the only reason Seth Rollins and the AOP won the match was because Buddy Murphy decided to help. Because Seth Rollins actually called for help. So Buddy helps, they win the match, and they hug. So basically, he joins the faction. I don't know how it's called. They really need a name, in my opinion, because now it's an actual faction. But man, that's possibly very good for Buddy Murphy's career. I like it because, you know, we had Seth Rollins and two guys who are basically a tag team. Now it's an actual faction. It's like the Undisputed Era, like the Evolution, just not as good, of course, but you get the point. We have a mid-carder, a main eventer, and a tag team. I like that. Factions are very successful in wrestling, and I don't know why SmackDown and Raw never really have these anymore. You can say the New Day, but the New Day are more of a tag team. I thought that this episode was actually boring, but now looking back, it was actually pretty cool. A lot of important stuff happened, so I'm going to give this show 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't as bad as I thought. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video, and as always, the great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.